Done, y'all. Coming back again. Another lesson. Another in transit. Um, while I'm out grinding. Um, I just had this hold on, this thing. It's open. Quick a brief, conversation. Um, speaking with this Jake, this this property that I do some work for, and we was just talking about certain things. I know this Jake. I see them all the time on different properties, whatever, multiple different properties, whatever. They do like renovation work, whatever. And he got these snakes, or I guess it's a snake that he caught on one of these properties. And we was just talking about animals and stuff like that. And I was mentioning how animals is like another form of riches. He got a snake. The snake had babies, got eggs. I said, well, how much for that kind of snake do people buy them for? It's like $100 a snake once they're fully grown. I said, hey man, we were talking about different things. I was talking about a family farm down south. We owned a bunch of different animals. I think we was talking about farmer or something like that, but then he starts to go into, yeah, man, you ain't even supposed to be eating certain stuff, You ain't supposed to be eating certain stuff. You ain't supposed to be, what did he say? Oh, the thing that stuck out. He said what? He said, yeah, if it don't have, what do you say? If it don't have fins and scales in the ocean, you're not supposed to eat it. And I agree with him. I ain't really say much. I said, oh yeah. I said those. What I was gonna say, because whenever it comes to the scriptures, like the Lord Yahweh Shai said to Nicodemus, if I tell you of earthly things and you perceive not, how then can I tell you of heavenly things, right? So a lot of times you don't just come out and say certain things to Jake. Maybe if you could perceive they have some type of wisdom about them, if you can perceive that, right? That they might be able to get it. And a lot of times it's coming off of a lot of times it's coming off of a scientific, logical standpoint when you talk about certain things. Like, in case in point, the diet. You don't go right to the dietary laws. This is in the Bible, but you do bring out, there's the studies that show that eating pork is not good for you. They have parasites. They don't have sweat glands. Their body holds a multitude of parasites and toxins, right? But he just came right off like, yeah, man, you ain't supposed to eat that. Then he just started going. Okay, so Jake has been in learning about Hebrew Israelite thing. Or he's been watching certain camps, for over a year now. He was saying, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Like, who who? I said, who have you been watching? He was like, oh, there's a bunch of different. He said some of them downtown, right? You know, some of them downtown and this. I've been watching this, right? You know, he's just talking about certain things, and I guess what I wanted to harp on is one thing he was saying. He was like, because then he started talking about. He literally came out. He said the Negroes, the Latinos, and the Native Americans are the real Jews. They're the real Israelites. They were being called Israelites in the Bible. He's like, the Bible's not dealing with. So he knew some stuff. To be learning, you're gonna learn some stuff in a year from watching the different camps. But he watched a whole bunch of different camps, Wi-Fi and Sakari, and I didn't really say anything about myself. You know, I mentioned a couple of things, but I didn't say anything about myself in particular. You know, I just agree with a lot of stuff he's saying because it's true. But I asked him. He showed me the different camps. He watched IUIC, Sakari, this and that. And I mentioned to her, I said, that's pretty it's pretty good that you're learning these different things. And he didn't even ask me about if I don't know, I guess he was a little oblivious to it or how I do certain things, but I didn't say much. But basically what I told him, I said, concerning, because he was saying, really, you're supposed to wear the fringes all the time. We was talking about the different, the Issacharites, the different so-called Native Americans, how they were wearing fringes. He was like, why are they wearing fringes? Because they're really the people. I said, yeah, I'm Native American. I'm so-called Native American, right? But he mentioned the fringes. He said, really, you're supposed to be wearing these things, he said your whole life, every day, right? I said, that's true. But, the Lord did say you're supposed to, it says, be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right? You don't want to, it's not wise to wear that traditional garb every day, or to wear fringes every day, because you put a target on your back. Man, what the fuck is that smell? I'll be glad when this place is fucking destroyed, man. This place is fucking horrible. Ugh, it smells like a fucking sewer. It might be this truck right here. Foul. Salakia. That shit kind of threw me off. But right. So you got a lot of different camps out here, and a lot of brothers, they start off watching these different camps and learning the basics, who the Israelites are, the different laws, the dietary law, the fringes. And even different historical stuff. Some of these other camps, they get down with the history, man. And I was surprised because when he's just rambling stuff off. He was even talking about, and this is how I knew it made sense. A lot of these other camps, they may have everything right except for the MOTB, unless it's Sakari. I believe, you can correct me if brothers watching, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Sakari still teaches teaches that the MOTB is the MOTB. Oh man, whenever you say, look, you know you're doing something right when there's demons on here, man. I'm gonna have to yeah, hide all them shits, man. I ain't about to be distracted by that bullshit. Right? I believe Sakari still teaches that the MOTB is the C-hip, right? But these other guys like Wi-Fi and IUIC and you mentioned another one, Just Israel. I don't think I ever I don't know who those guys are. Right? But any type of benefit in the scriptures are also Israelites, you know, that are coming back into the fold, coming back into the knowledge of being an Israelite, right? So you know, so what I said is that I wasn't gonna say much, but I said you should I said not all of them camps, you know, really agree with the same thing. I said you should find out and see what each one of those camps say about the MOTB, and he did say, well, you know, they try to say that it's the you know it's the C-hip they put in your hand. You know, I didn't really say the conversation didn't really go that much farther, but you know, Jake is waking up. You know, and this particular Jake, he's older than me. You know, he look like he might be in his 40s or going into his 40s. You know, but hey, Jake is waking up. Now, ultimately, in that selection of the people that he watched, so he said he's been watching for a year. GMS didn't didn't come up. So because when you think about it too, you know, all the other camps are GMS got the 100% truth. All right, all the other camps are they're like entry level camps. You can learn a lot, all right, with all the other camps, but to get the true 100% understanding, all right, and sense of the scriptures, it comes down to GMS, right? Raw and uncut, no gimmicks. It comes down to GMS, right? Right, and that's like, you know, the Lord has to draw you. He has to draw you to Great Millstone, right? He has to draw you to Him, right? Like the scriptures say, he that cometh, no man may come unto me except the Father draw him. So you have to be drawn unto the truth, man. You have to be drawn unto this path of suffering and difficulty. Because a lot of, you know what, too? A lot of these other camps, you know, they push, you know, what you call it, they promote and they push selling Hebrew Israelite attire and buying this and buying that and buying Hebrew, like buying Hebrew names, right? They make gain of this truth, man. Filthy lucre, right? We give it to you for free. We give it to you for free. You ain't gotta pay for this truth, right? You ain't gotta pay for it, right? You ain't gotta. We don't need your tax information, to sign up. We don't have applications to join the camp. Now you do. If you're gonna get in the camp, you have to be tried, right? You can't just walk up in here. That's not how that works. You have to be tried, right? You will be tried. You'll be standing on the other side. You know, like the scriptures say, try, be not hasty to credit, right? But you have to try a friend, prove them first before you can, you know, trust them. Same thing, you know. But you don't. Going back to that fringe thing too, man. You don't want to make yourself a target. The scriptures say we walk. We are sheep in the midst of wolves, right? Also, that what we walk on the battlements of the city. Like the scriptures say, you know, we walk on the battlements of the city, right? Right, we're behind enemy lines, so you don't want to make yourself an open target. I'm like, you should know that there is operations that are against people who are teaching the Bible, right? Especially those who are teaching, you know, Israel, so to speak, man. You should know that, right? When you get into the scriptures, and it talks about Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, you shall spoil those. Still spoiling, destroying them that fear the Lord, right? You should understand that. You should understand that fact, that this devil is out to get you. So why would you put yourself in the open like that, man? Hey, you gotta go back to our forefather David, right? Knowing that Saul was trying to get him, it said what? And he was in Saul's army, man. He was one of the generals in his army. Knowing that Saul wanted to kill him, and I believe the scriptures say too that Saul was afraid because David behaved himself wisely. So David was watching what he was doing, right? He was behaving himself wisely. He wasn't letting Saul know all his whereabouts. That's why he asked, like, you know, when the new moon came in. You know, usually David would feast with the king. You know, he would eat with the king. They would have it was a high holy day, right? And then he was like, well, you know, why hasn't David come? Surely he must be unclean, right? Maybe he might be unclean, you know. And that could happen through different means, being unclean. Right? The most common one is when a man lies down with a woman. It's like, surely he must be unclean, but he wasn't. You know, King David behaved himself wisely, and we got to do the same. You can't, you know, just, you know, put a target on your back like, hey, look at me, I'm an Israelite. Here, persecute me. Right? You got to be wise in what you're doing. Transit on that, Lord will come some precepts to Shabbat Shalom and Shalom.